the fastest track in NASCAR. We are going to continue the NASCAR Heat Evolution Career Mode at Michigan International Speedway. We're getting a really good run here down the inside of Dale Earnhardt Jr. We qualified really well. The car feels quite good, quite fast, but it's not fast going sideways, as it's turned into a bit of a plate race here at the start. Paul Menard's underneath, as well as Kyle Larson. By the way, congratulations to Kyle Larson pulling off the victory in real life at this track. As a Kyle Larson fan, I was quite happy. I missed the race because I was watching Cars 3. I was happy to do that, honestly. It sounds like NASCAR made a couple of questionable calls that would have triggered me, and Cars 3 was a great movie. So, well, I won't say a great movie, but it was the sequel that Cars 2 should have been. And now we can kind of forget about Cars 2, can't we? I hope. Even though I can't purge that movie from my memory, unfortunately. But I'm talking about cars when I should be talking about actual cars, or maybe virtual cars. And we are actually, this is kind of like a plate race. It's like a plate race without restrictor plates, because we're kind of running in a pack here and not really going anywhere, even though we've gotten around McMurray now. And we're now coming up, trying to get around, well, I guess we're trying to get around the Ganassi posse here, as we will maybe clear Larson. We're not really getting any draft, though, outside of the side draft there. Try to lift off a little bit going around the outside. I'm actually surprised that our 2-mile oval game is kind of strong here. I'm used to kind of the going to Fontana and absolutely getting spanked, but I guess we're better at Michigan than we are at Fontana. Of course, Michigan's a little bit narrower than Fontana. I think it's got a little bit higher banking, so maybe that's playing into our advantage here, as we almost got turned there by Matt Kenseth, and we actually are moving up into the top 6 now, as the leaders are kind of pulling away just a little bit. But we'll see. Who's actually leading this race? Looks like maybe Kurt Busch. No, I was wrong. It's Harvick. It looked like a Stewart-Haas car. It was a Stewart-Haas car. I just picked the wrong Stewart-Haas car to call out. And now we're getting in the draft of Jimmy Johnson here. Going to try to get around the outside of him going into turn 3. He's going to go up just a little bit and now go down because I kind of shoved him down there. And Logano as well. 3 wide through the tri-oval. Johnson's going to get that position. And we're just going to have to hang around the outside if we don't want to get turned here. See if we can't get a good run through the center of 1 and 2. It's a good place, it seems, to get a run on people and be able to pass. Still side by side with Logano. Gonna pull down the back straightaway, get a good draft from Johnson. This should clear us going into turn 3, which indeed it will. Had to kind of lift off a little bit there. Johnson was kind of sitting on the apex. Try to get in another draft here, get a good run on Jimmy. Of course, no bump drafting is going to work here, so we're going to have to pull out and grab onto Kyle Busch's draft. And is there any way we can get through? Okay, we'll go 3 wide on the exit turn 2 at Michigan. Now we'll slice to the bottom, and just not quite there. Let's see if JJ can give us a jet plane ride down into turn 3, which it isn't going to work out either. But if we can carry some speed across the outside of 3 and 4, thank you for staying on the bottom there, Kyle Busch. I'm kind of pinching him down, but he's in the draft of JJ, and that's going to allow him back through. So we can't just quite clear that 18 yet. I'm going to try to really arc it down in the corner here. Maybe was a little too aggressive there. That wasn't too bad. Could have been better. But we're just not being able to clear Kyle Busch. But now to the inside. This may be really good, and indeed it is. I'll see if we can get a run on Johnson as well. Then we can go up there and hook on to Keselowski and maybe even get Harvick. I'm actually shocked at the pace that we're running at Michigan. I think the last time I came to Michigan, we had a terrible race. Just had no pace whatsoever. But for whatever reason, we're going pretty fast here in Michigan. running the high line there. Yeah, we're kind of clearing the dust off and did not get a good run off of the exit. Johnson's able to run that bottom line and just a little bit better at the moment. So we're going to swing wide, try to get a good arc into turn 3, get that car down just a little bit in the draft. We might be able to clear Johnson going into 1 if we get a good run here through the tri-oval. Of course, in real life, the NASCARs were running up to trap speeds of 220 miles an hour going in here. We're a little bit slower at 197. And by a little bit slower, that's a lot slower. That's 23 miles an hour. But, yeah. So we're not doing a particularly good job of getting around Jimmy Johnson, but I'll tell you what he is doing for us. He's helping us kind of get up to the back of Keselowski, so it might be more beneficial for me to just sit behind Jimmy here. Not really try too hard unless the opportunity prevents itself to pass him, because it seems like he's going to pull us right up into this fight for the lead. As Jimmy goes wide, we're going to get into the back of Jimmy. And now to the inside of Jimmy. Can we get him though? No, he's going to be able to play. He's got the straight line speed. All the AI cars have got ludicrous straight line speed. We have to make all our time up in the corners. And Jimmy's really able to hold the bottom quite well there in 3 and 4. So just nothing doing right now. Field is spreading out quite a bit. I wonder if we're going to see some lap cars, assuming we don't have any yellows. Probably after the first pit stop, I would imagine we're really going to be in some heavy lap traffic, and that's going to add some serious strategy to this race. As we just get in behind Jimmy Johnson, wash up in his arrow just a little bit behind, and again still not able to clear him. I do like Michigan Speedway quite a bit. I like how fast it is. I wish Indy cars ran here again. I would probably be first in line to buy tickets. I really do want to go see the Sprint Cup or Monster Energy Cup at Michigan at some point. Obviously, not just because my favorite driver is the one winning all the races, but the speed that they run at this track is definitely one of those things that is a big draw to a fan like me. I like to see race cars pushed to their very limits of what they can do. And the fact that this is billed, and rightly so, as the fastest track in NASCAR is definitely a draw. To me, anyway. Right down next to the white line. You gotta be very careful, you don't want to hit the apron. And we're getting stops already. The 2 leaders clearly did not get very good fuel mileage running up there at the front. So now it's a battle between myself and Jimmy Johnson for the lead. 200, finally cracked 200 miles an hour. Into turn 1. Now out of turn 2. Can we just get by Jimmy? He's holding tough to the bottom. That means he's probably coming into the pits this time around. So that, and I still haven't seen the fuel light come on my car. So that means we can stay out just a little bit longer. I will check the tire wear. We got 2 laps to go on the fuel. Looks like we can get away with right sides as we take the lead. Probably going to have the fuel alarm come on this time, and indeed, just as I said that, literally, it said it. So now into the pits, we've put a lap up on Happy Harvick there as he came out of the pits. So I'm going to go with some track position. Almost got into the wall there. Going to try to go for track position here on this first stop by taking 2 tires, right sides only, and see if we can't get ahead of Harvick. So if we can build up a bit of a lead. That's a terrible pit entry.
Slow down.
But at least we're going to be able to get down to 55 as Hamlin passes me coming into the pits. Wonderful. And guess what? The yellow light came on just as soon as we entered the pits. I should have stayed out. I would have been a lap up on the entire field, but it looks like the game decided to screw me. Wonderful. We'll come out of the pits, but we're probably going to be in bad track position. Oh, okay, I guess we're going to go right back to the green. Yeah, bad track position. 21st place. Wonderful.
The race is going green.
And I really should have gone with 4 tires as soon as I realized that the yellow was out. but oh well. Gonna have to deal with it. So we're gonna have to come from
Still there.
a long ways back here as Bobby Labonte is on the outside.
You're 3 wide.
As I'm well aware of that, spotter. Well aware of that fact.
3 high.
So now big draft off of Paul Menard down the back straightaway. Which we're going to try to
Still
swing to
there.
the extreme outside. Run that Tony Kanaan line out to the
Still
outside. So almost 4 wide. I almost lost it there. Got to be so careful as Buscher's up here. Wow, Chris Buscher. Nice run for that car. 31 laps to go. We're still in decent position here.
Still there.
It's just not the strategy I wanted to run. I was hoping we'd run this thing all green,
All clear.
but I guess we're not going to have that happen.
Clear low.
Okay, so a big draft off of Chris Buscher around the outside. Maybe we can get Kurt Busch here into turn 3.
All clear.
Hoping these guys stay grouped up for a little while. I feel like they go much slower. The AI, I mean, go much slower when everybody's grouped together. Helps me out significantly. Going to go around a couple of Roush teammates here. 3 wide, lots of Fords. As we pinch Biffle
Still there.
a little bit there. And did we clear Stenhouse? No, so not cleared him yet, but it looks like we're going to get a really good draft off of some Yodas here.
Clear low.
100, 200 miles an hour, 201 just flashed there for a second.
All low.
So over the 200 mile an hour barrier, or through it, I should say, as Dale Jr. tries to cut in on Matt Kenseth there. Didn't quite
Still there.
make that work. This is when I wish bump drafting worked in this game, because we would have shoved Junior. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And that's going to make things a little bit more complicated as we go 4 wide there between 1 and 2. I don't know what Kyle Busch was doing or where that speed came from, but he shoved Kenseth up into Junior, and then that allowed me to sneak in the gap that Junior left. So just a little bit of an exciting moment there, as we still just can't clear Kyle. Kyle Busch. Come on, Kyle, get going. And good draft off Logano. Once again, just cracking the 200 mile an hour barrier on the entrance to 1. Little bit loose through 1 and 2. There comes Kyle Busch down to the inside. Is he going to have that run, though? I chose his lane, so you better go, Kyle. Okay, that's not going to work. Thankfully, the 3 wide situation. And we're getting slowed down by Logano. Wonderful. Oh, we just cut in front of Kenseth there. I saw him in the mirror. Thankfully, he didn't stick his nose in there, and we were able to cut down. No problem. Now, if we can just get around Elliott here, I think we can get up to that second pack, which seems to consist of there's 3 guys we were racing earlier, plus Larson and Edwards, and the game was lagging just a little bit. That might be we're getting a yellow. Yes, it is. Yellow flag is out. Crash somewhere on the track. Should we pit? I feel like, you know what, I'm going to take a gamble, pit, and go for some strategy here. Okay, down to 27th, but it's not a bad thing, because, of course, now we are on an alternate strategy, have more fuel than everybody, and when green flag pit stops take place, hopefully it'll put us where we need to be. This is the Firekeepers Casino 400 after all, and it would be apropos to gamble, so we're going to gamble a little bit too much, going 4 wide. It's the biggin. That was a thing, and Kyle Busch just, oh my god, everybody's crashing everywhere. Thankfully we don't have too much damage, so let's not pit. Alright, doesn't look like really anybody pitted, except for the people, of course, that were in the big one. So here we go, we're underway, racing at Michigan. Seems like a lot of slow guys are up in this pack now.
Clear low.
So you would hope that we'll be able to clear a lot of the... Ooh, that was close. Almost pulled down on Casey Mears there. And can we get a good run here down the back straightaway? No, not quite. Going to try to make an ill-advised 3 wide here
Hold your line.
with McDowell and Jones. Thankfully, they were respectful, unlike Bobby Labonte was on that last restart. Looks like Larson's leading the race, considering his pace on 2-mile tracks in real life. Not a huge surprise. 18 laps to go, so it looks like we're going to have to come in with to get a splash and go here at the end. Not a big deal.
Still there.
Especially considering that pretty much everybody, in fact I think everybody is going to have to make one more stop regardless. So we should be in pretty good shape if we can get up here
Still there.
into this lead pack, and if they can stay packed together. Because what happened before that last yellow was I kind of got caught out being stuck in the second pack and not really having any drafting help to get up into the first pack. So let's see if we can get around these guys as quickly as possible here. Kind of dive into that first pack, or at least into the draft of that first pack. We make it 3 wide.
Still there.
Blaney had to kind of duck down there. Looks like Jimmy Johnson is taking the lead. Kurt Busch almost slid up into me. Thankfully his spotter told him I was there. Chris Buescher running 9th. I mean, can we just give a shout out right there?
Still there.
He's running a legitimate 9th too. He is right in the mix as we just tap off of Kurt Busch there. Have to be so careful of that. And are we picking up any sniff of draft here? Maybe a little bit. It's not a great amount though. So let's see if we can get into 1 decently. A little bit of a lift there. Just get the car down on the racing groove. The AI like to run around the bottom at Michigan, so you kind of have to run that bottom line if you're trying to get a draft down the straightaways or off of the corners. Of course, a wide entry gives you a little bit more speed that you can carry through the corner, and that's the thing that AI just don't do at this track. They'd probably absolutely destroy me if they, took a proper racing line through the corners. But it's not what they do. We are getting a good tow here off of Hamlin and Logano and Elliott. Then that lead pack with Edwards and Larson and Johnson are going 3 wide, so hopefully they keep racing as hard as they are. And of course we've got fuel on board versus I think all of these guys, with the possible exception of Hamlin. I think Hamlin was involved in some fuel saving. Of course he was the guy who passed me on the entrance to the pit road. Oh, for the love of God, really? Thankfully we got a yellow for that. Wow. So I guess we'll pit, repair the car, and see where it all shakes out, unfortunately. 36th. Well. Oh boy. Alright. We're just going to have to be aggressive on this restart. Thankfully we're starting on the top, so we won't be trapped on the bottom coming off of turn 2. That's where we really had some trouble. 10 laps to go. Well, I got caught on the bottom. That was a NASCAR 15 situation where everybody was coming into the pits. And then I just got caught out because I was right behind him. And of course the spotter didn't, say leaders coming into the pits until the very last possible moment. Huge draft into turn 3. I just missed the safer barrier on the entry there. Come on, car. I don't know who the heck's leading the race. It looks like Labonte. That can't be right. 4 wide. 4 freaking wide. I cannot believe that just happened and I pulled it off and everything's okay. Man, we are just absolutely... We are just destroying the field right now. And it is Bobby Labonte in the lead. Can you believe it, folks? Can you believe it? Oh, for the love of God. What is going on here? Okay. Gotta be so careful. Gotta be so careful. Come on, Tony. Get out of the way. This is just an absolute crazy race. It looks like Carl Edwards has jumped into the lead. Oh, for low. No, 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 no. Okay. That completely ruined my
There's a wreck in
momentum.
turn 4.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. So we're going to have to really, really ramp it up here. 'Cause, man, you just can't... The thing about this game is you touch somebody on the straightaway and your car immediately crashes. There's just nothing you can do about it. So, unfortunate. We're all the way back to 38th. Which is not where I want to be. Probably car is significantly damaged, yeah. So we're just going to have to really work hard now to get back up to where we need to be. It was really making that high line work, and then it decided to not work.
You're all clear.
So we got 7 laps to go. We were really making a good charge there, and De Benedetto just decided
You're all clear.
to try to wreck me there. Come on, get out of the way. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Man, it's so painful because everybody's up to speed now and they're all kind of out of the pack. And there's a car going very slowly. Very, very slowly there. Okay, well, they gained us a lot of positions. It looked like Stenhouse had some mechanical difficulty. But may have screwed us a bit. So now we've got 20 cars out in front. They're not really grouped up particularly well. So it's going to be tough to make passes. Boy, I was really looking good there for a second. Now we just kind of got to clean up. What could have been a really solid result. Come on. We can get around and net the threat. And around the outside, cars are pitting. Labonte came into the pits. So Bobby Labonte's race
5 laps to go.
ends in the pits. His fuel strategy did not work out too well, clearly. Love to get a top 10. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Truex is running 40th, but he's really flying right now. Come on, Ellis. Get out of my way. Big, big draft. To the outside. Just running way too high right now. It's just not... I don't think it's going to work out
Still there.
in our favor.
You're all clear.
Well, that's annoying because we really had a car to win today, as far as I'm concerned. It just didn't work out. Right down next to the white line. Just not getting good enough drafts to really get going here. 191. They were also not even close to the 200 we were running earlier. Oh, it's so frustrating. So, Paul Menard is next, then it's Kurt Busch, and a few others. Hopefully once we get up into this pack at least, it feels like we're going to run out of laps, but if I can get into this pack and really just benefit from the draft the whole way around, we really may be able to start making up positions. You have to see, the tires definitely feel like they're starting to go away as well. We've run a pretty long time on the tires, so that's not helping things particularly. As we go down next to the white line, don't hit the white line though, because that will spin you out. So here we go. Getting a big draft. 2 laps to go. The car's starting to struggle for grip.
Yellow's
And
out.
a yellow. Yellow. Oh boy, that has changed the game. That has changed the game. So I'm going to pit, I'm going to repair the car, put on tires, and just go for it. Just absolutely go for it here. Yellow, and now they're giving me a second chance on this. So 34th.
Get set. The race is going
We're
green.
starting on the outside lane.
Green flag.
Let's not have what happened to us the last time happen to us this time.
Here you go.
But we are going to have to be aggressive.
Stay high.
I'm just hoping I can get enough speed here to be able to really compete as people start to pass me to the inside.
Car low.
It's going to be all about this run off of turn 2, which I get really effectively. Get into the wall just a little bit, but that's just to stay out the heck out of the way
Still there.
of the AI on the straightaway. Come on. Here we go. Fresh tires. Fresh tires.
Stay high. Still there.
All right, 1 to go.
You're all clear. Car low.
Big draft.
Last lap.
Huge draft. Do not cut in front of me, Paul Menard. Do not do that.
Still there. All
Car's
clear.
just washing up just a little bit. Come on.
Car low.
I think we can get a lot of positions here in turn 3, depending on how much they slow each other up.
Still there. You're
Come
all
on,
clear.
car. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Stay high.
Trying to go. We're trying to go. I don't think we're going to get a top 10. There's a wreck. Another wreck. Gonna dive to the apron. Can we make up a position? No, 15th. Well, that was exciting at least. So, 15th position finish. Not the best in the world, not the worst in the world. You can see Stenhouse was the last car to finish. Edwards took the victory over Harvick, Kenseth, and a bunch of other guys. Let's take a look at the moolah we got. Probably not going to be the most amazing. Probably good. Yeah, winning. The winnings are good, but just primary sponsorship money. No, we got a top 15, so Aspen Dental is going to give us 17 grand. So 2.5 or $250,000. Not the best result, but it is what it is. Point standings doesn't really matter. We've got to win anyway. Let's see where we are in the chase standing. So right on the bubble in terms of points. But again, we have that win, so it's not a big deal. So let's head back to the race shop and see if there's anything else to take a look at. So from Michigan, we're going to go on to the first road course race of the season at Sonoma for the Toyota Save Mart 350. That's going to be an interesting race. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I haven't played NASCAR Heat on a road course in a very long time, but the controls are similar to Project Cars, and the handling is much worse than Project Cars. So we're going to see how that turns out. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you at Sonoma, and I hope to see you there in the next video.